Union is a word often heard in twin flame circles and is debatable as to what it is and if it's even for all twins. As some people believe in soul contracts and that if you're meant to be with your twin in union in this lifetime, then you will be. If it's not part of your soul contract, then you won't be with them. I don't agree with that at all. And I don't believe that we make soul contracts as such. I've seen where many people get reunions and union confused. To me, reunions serve to teach us or show us things, but specifically for me, what I was shown during reunion was mine and my twins' heaviest imbalance, which happened through what appeared to be slowed time. During soul recognition, I experienced slow time as well. And I know it said that we don't actually experience slow time, but it's in how we remember it. But the first slow time that I had with him, I believe it showed me that we have a sacred sexual bond. And I didn't put that together in the moment, but later through my journey, as I was shown other things and my knowledge about our dynamic expanded, it came to me. But during reunion, it happened again, and he appeared a foot shorter than he really is, and he suddenly looked fearful. It was then that I was guided to look at the slow time incidents with him, and through this, I saw how he felt small and insignificant, that he felt he could never be enough for me. And I didn't know it then, but as I was guided through this, this was showing me my mirror. I felt very unworthy. I felt that I could never be good enough for him. And that's because during soul recognition, we experience that divine energy and flow. And so we put them up on a pedestal because we can see them in their best potential. And also because when we really start feeling the activation from that divine energy, we are looking at them from a traumatized perspective. Because even though we were gifted that flow of divine energy, being open to it during soul recognition, we hadn't truly healed through the physical side of things yet. Because I believe soul recognition shows us how union feels, so we can grow into that and be in our divinity. But we can't be in union until we heal our traumas and really deep wounds. Union occurs after you've gone through enough growth to be living in your worthiness, and showing your self love ties into this. And I believe physically merging with your twin is a result of this. Also, aligning with your soul is a result of this because that's what you're guided to in your growth, which your healing is also a part of. That's how we come to know our worth. And I don't mean the way a lot of people might pretend they know their worth, which comes through vibrations of fear and is usually a defense mechanism. But in your growth, you become aware of how to find your balance with your twin, and it's emphasized in knowing your worth. In my previous video, Shifting Frequencies, I touch on how once we reach our soul frequency, we don't fall from that, and that's why union is permanent. We're constantly shifting vibrations, and if enough vibrations change, our frequency can change, and it will because we're human beings. But once we open to our soul frequency, we become established with that. So even though we'll still shift vibrations and frequencies sometimes, it doesn't mean we're not still able to open to our soul frequency. And I believe that's because being attuned is mostly through your awareness. Union is the same way, so even though imbalances will occur, it's through your awareness, self-worth, self-love, living from your heart with ego balancing into that, which also fluctuates. But awareness through our higher self keeps us open to that, keeps us in our flow, open to our divinity, to our divine energy. I think it's not about being your best potential, that your best potential actually comes from being attuned. And it's not something you make happen. It's about awareness and experiencing from the heart. And all of this is gained through your journey, through feelings, through our worth and love, knowledge and discernment. And through all of that, you create this relationship with your higher self, which is based in unconditional love. So just because you have imbalances, your relationship doesn't go away. That's your soul frequency, being attuned to your higher self. It's like how some people refer to your frequencies being like radio stations. You can change channels, but you know that you've got this channel over here, and that's your soul frequency. And the more you listen to it, the more you want to listen to it. In that, you're guided to act through love with awareness, knowledge, and discernment, and knowing your worth. You accept and love yourself as you are, which opens you even more to your soul frequency, which causes you to shift to higher vibrations. And your twin mirrors this. Because we share our soul, we're the same frequency. Even when we're not aligned, it's why we're able to see mirroring through them because we're always in the same frequency. As you shift frequencies, so do they, and vice versa. It's why we go through learning to balance out both physical frequencies. As shifting into soul frequency happens, I believe we have what I call pre unions, which are different from reunions. Then we gradually move towards union. And the more you're following your higher self, the more your union will reflect that. I believe you can be in union, but not necessarily in a romantic relationship. But I do believe both acknowledge the unique bond, even if it's not labeled as twin flames or part of a spiritual journey, but also that you have mutual respect for each other and it's what both want. You both have peace and understanding in that. I also believe greater purpose is known through both and that both are aware of each other's roles in that. I think the more you're following your higher self, the more you align as one. And you're one through your soul anyway, but physically to experience is two physical frequencies. But both of those physical frequencies are a part of the soul frequency. So the more you're aligned with that, the more oneness you experience. With that, I believe the bond is a sacred bond as the highest love we can experience as human beings, which is that of our soul, that spiritual love we feel at soul recognition and it stays with us from then on. And that's what many refer to as 5D union. But as twins, we have a physical counterpart in this. It's not just one body coming to union with their higher self. So, in our soul alignment, both bodies are a part of that because our frequencies are always the same. The more we align, the more we resonate with each other because you can be in the same frequency and not resonate, which is what's happening during activation when running and chasing occur. So we have that spiritual love, which is 5D union, which happens at soul recognition because our soul is awakened, so our higher self recognizes itself as the other experiencer. But when both are open to their higher self, they're open to their divine energy, to their intended flow of being the receiver and being the grounder, the conduit and the grounder. The spiritual love is resonating in both. The heart chakras are balanced with it, which is their intended vibration. That's the heart chakra's intended vibration. And the physical part of union occurs as the shared soul. Just like I talk about our spiritual essence being infinite creativity, that's everything existing as potential. And it manifests in the physical as matter. That's bringing creation about full circle because the physical is the polarity of the spiritual. That's what physical union is for twins. It's the creation of the shared soul coming about full circle through both bodies. To be open and in our true design, to be able to follow that path of the twin flame journey, we are fulfilling our soul's purpose. We're not shifting into 5D consciousness if we can't follow our higher self. That's why you can't get to union unless you get good at following your guidance. And it's not only physical, it's all encompassing. Union is the totality of physical and spiritual and everything in between. And again, not that you're in a traditional relationship, but I believe there's mutual acknowledgement, respect, peace, and understanding. There are different vibrations within your soul frequency, so there are lots of possibilities to that. And something I received a while back is that union mirrors our soul recognition. It shows us our potential through our divine energy. That's how I know twin flames are designed for union. I don't mean that it's fated or predestined, as in it'll happen no matter what, but I do believe it's part of our destined path, which means it's part of our path, but it can be affected by our choices. It's just like being open to your higher self. You can't undo that because it's through awareness that you have that.